Zombies! Cars! Today, I spent 7 days in Louisville in Project Zomboid. Now, this challenge is going to be pretty simple. I just am going to spend 7 days in Louisville and see if I can survive. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I first started off by making my character. I picked a fire officer or firefighter, and I picked underweight and stout. So with this, I would start off with low amounts of weight, but it would make up for it because I would be really strong and I can gain more weight really easily anyway. So I spawned in my house and I started by grabbing a frying pan. Then in my house I also found a crowbar, which is a really good weapon and can be used to pry open doors, so a really good find overall. I then found some beta blockers in my medicine cabinet, which could be useful if I got a gun, because if you see a bunch of zombies, it becomes really hard to shoot. So I just looted through the rest of the house, found a watch, and with that, I headed outside and I found my truck. Now, it's my truck, right? Because it's at my house, I just don't have a key for it. So what I did instead was just started killing all the zombies outside my house, and it went pretty well. All the zombies were pretty easy to kill, and none of them really gave me much trouble. I went around the house killing the rest of the zombies, and I found a leather jacket on one of them. Now this leather jacket gave me some extra scratch resistance and just resistance overall, so that was really nice. I then went into another house nearby where I looted up, and apparently this house was a survivor house because there was a bunch of good weapons just in the cabinet. So I took them, and then I just read my book and watched the TV to gain some skill points. Now, I didn't finish reading the book because I didn't want to waste the full first day just reading. So I went outside and killed some more zombies with my newly found weapon, which did a lot more damage because it being a homemade weapon, it was overall just a better weapon to use, I guess. So with that, I killed the rest of the zombies outside and then made my way towards another home in which I kind of had to run around the house a lot to try and get in, but I just said, you know what, it's fine. I'm just gonna go kill some more zombies. So I killed some more zombies, then I hopped in that house that I originally tried to get into and just looked around, found a screwdriver, which was an amazing find because now I can dismantle doors and dismantle radios, do all that. So with that, I made my way outside the house, just around to kill some more zombies. So ran around the neighborhood looking for anything good. What I specifically was looking for was something like a car that I could see if it was unlocked, or I could look for basically any survivor house that would have a lot of good weapons in it. But all I found was more and more zombies, and this became quite a problem because right here I got knocked down. Luckily I didn't get damaged, but the zombies could have easily bit me. So I made my way to a nearby house, tried to get in, luckily I was able to, but as soon as I closed the window, a zombie came up and just started banging on the window. Now what I did was I opened it and I got hit. Now I opened it because I wanted to kill him, but if another zombie had jumped through there, it would have been over for me. Luckily that didn't happen and I was safe, so I just spent the night in the house, watched TV, and read all the books I had. So with that, I ate some more margarine, which was good for getting my weight up. But I decided, you know what, actually, I don't want to spend the night here, so I headed out, and right here, me falling over that fence made me bleed, and also I lost my leather jacket because it broke. So that was not good, but it was made up for it by me finding a bunch of just stuff on the zombie, which I could, you know, rip up, and I could heal myself, so everything was fine overall. So I ran around for the remainder of the night. I was getting really tired, and at this point, I just needed to go to sleep. So with that, I just read a book into day 2, and with that, after everything was all good, I just finished reading this book. Then I decided to just stay up and read another book I had because I wanted to get the most out of the day I could, because if I went to sleep then, I would have missed the carpentry show. But with that, I slept, and it basically took me into day 3. So at the start of day 3, I just stood around the kitchen and then made myself some food, just ate, basically made sure everything was all good before I decided to go out for the day, because I didn't want to go out during the night, but I had to anyway, so I ran outside during the night, just looked around, you know, found this car, but it was locked, so I couldn't get into it, unfortunately. So I made my way into another house nearby just to read a book I had, just to make sure I could finish it, because it was night and I didn't want to keep wandering around in darkness. So I waited till 6, and I let in a bunch of zombies so I could easily kill them, because I didn't want to have them bang on the windows when I was in the house. So I climbed over a fence on the outside, so I was able to get across the main road towards a bunch more houses. Now these houses, unlike the other houses, are a lot different. They're a lot smaller, but they all look identical, and what I did find is a lot of them are survivor houses. Now, when I hopped over the fence to get to this one, I did damage my left hand, so that was not great, but I did kill all the zombies there. And with everything clear here, my weapon kind of broke, so I got the aluminum bat out, and the aluminum bat is honestly not a terrible weapon. This bat is just incredible. So I was able to easily clear out the zombies, and with that, I decided to unbarricade the window with the crowbar I had so I could climb into this house. Now, there was a lot of zombies actually in the house already, so I found one zombie in the bedroom, which I killed pretty easily, but he did have a lot of good stuff on him, like a large backpack, so I was able to start storing my items better because it had more encumbrance reduction. So with that was really good, but there's also a couple zombies in the bathroom which I had to kill, and there was another zombie banging on the barricaded window outside, which I wasn't too worried about that, but it was something to take note of. And here was the great thing. I found so many weapons in the cabinets because it was a survivor house. And one of the things I did find was this breaching tool. Now, I didn't know what this breaching tool did, but it actually performed something really, really important. Now, usually what I would have to do here is I have to hop out the window, which is risky because there's a zombie there. But with this, I can just break down doors like a sledgehammer. So that was really useful, because if I didn't have that, I would have surely gotten attacked by that zombie outside the window, because there would have been no other way for me to get outside. So I cleared out all the zombies around here. But again, zombies, when they hop over that, I keep getting messed up because they keep hitting me, and it's getting a little dangerous for me. So I have to stay back from these fences, because fences are my biggest enemy right now. So what I did with all these zombies is I just led them around pretty easily, and overall these zombies really easy, and was able to kill them all because the aluminum bat is a amazing weapon. Would recommend. Great weapon. So luckily all zombies were cleared out, made my way into a home, and I just had to chill out for a bit because I was a little bit exerted from all that. So with that, I just sat down, read a book while watching the TV, and I had to change out my bandages as well, just to make sure that everything was going smoothly. So I had to replace this because I was still a little bit injured from when I fell over a fence. So I hopped out of the house afterwards and ran through the neighborhood. So there was quite a lot of houses here, and I was just looking for anything I could find at this point, just to make sure that I could get through the neighborhood, get through any houses, because I was looking for some good loot. So I did find a couple more houses up the street, and these houses were different than the others, but once again, there were a lot of zombies here, and I had to just keep backpedaling around these zombies, going through houses, basically trying to divert them. Because there was one place that I was looking for, it was a gas station that I had saw along the way, so I just tried to clear out all these zombies so I would be able to get to that gas station uncontested. So I just jumped through a bunch of houses, killed these zombies, but as this was happening, I was already becoming tired and like exhausted, so I just had to sit in a house, clean off, and basically go to sleep, because at this point I did not want to try to fight zombies with being tired, because you get a large damage reduction whenever you try to do that. So that would have not been the best idea. But luckily I was able to go to sleep and read a book in the morning just to pass the time a little bit. And with that, we decided to head out for the day. So I just ran through everything, went to the kitchen, got some food, then I went out and found a parking lot. Now, there was a big van in this parking lot, which I ran up to, you know, hopefully there would be some good stuff in the van. Just looked around the area and scanning, not really any people there, but I decided to run up to the van, and once I was at the van, unfortunately, the lock was broken, so I couldn't even get anything that could have been good in the van. So I made my way to another survivor house, or just house that I found, and this house had a lot more zombies in it, and I was able to kill a lot of the zombies, but I swear, there are just so many zombies that are in the area, so I kept getting ambushed by more and more zombies that just came out of nowhere to try and kill me. So when I was in the survivor house looking around, more zombies were jumping through, but it was all worth it because I found some amazing stuff, like a hand axe which could be used to chop down trees, so I could finally barricade my own house once I got around to it, because at this point, I don't think it'd be worth settling down. So I ran through the neighborhood once more, looking for anything else I could get, and I found another survivor zombie, kind of like the one I had found earlier, but I didn't really need the large backpack now that I already had one. So I just killed him, and then I ran up to this other house, which was another survivor house, and this one had a couple more weapons, but nothing too, like, exciting. Once I got outside, though, a big horde started chasing me, so what I had to do was I had to just run away from this horde and basically fight it, because I could not fight that horde one-on-one, so I had to start running through houses, closing windows, basically trying my best to outrun them. But with this, I could pick off a couple zombies, like, at each time, so it wasn't too bad, but I just had to keep my distance so I didn't die. So with that, I was able to clear out all the zombies in the area, making this place a lot safer. Again, thanks to the aluminum bat, one of the best weapons I have found in this game. So I finally gained access to the gas station. Now the gas station had something very important in it. Not only did it have, of course, gas, it had a bunch of houses around it, which had a bunch of food, supplies, and everything. These houses being very connected is kind of a bad thing, because it's really hard to get from house to house if you're surrounded. So that's kind of bad, but overall, I would say it's a really, really good place to be, because of the houses being next to each other, and I can just go from house to house. So here, I'm just running from my house, but here's what I'm talking about. I am getting very surrounded in this house. So I decided, you know what, man, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna end the day, you know, hopefully everything is fine, and we're gonna be moving on to the next day. So once I woke up, I just made my way through the house, basically getting everything ready and deciding what I was going to do for the day. And what I did was I just ran out of the house and killed a couple zombies and made my way back towards the gas station. So once I was actually at the gas station, I had to clear out the area just to make sure I was safe and everything was okay. So when I got there, I picked up a map, read it. Wasn't too important because it was about Rosewood, but I got a gas can and found a truck. Now this truck, coincidentally, I'm so lucky because it had a key in it and the engine worked, just it didn't have any gas. So what I did was took the gas that was right next to me and I filled up the truck, and with that I was able to actually get a truck which I could drive through Louisville, which was so good because I can make my way through all these neighborhoods and all these roads way easier. But first, I just had to fill up my truck. So with that all being done, I made my way to my first house after driving for a while. This house had a big garage and it was really nice, so this place I knew was gonna have some good loot in it. So luckily I had a metal bat because I had to clear out all these zombies in the area because I don't know why, but this area was infested with even more zombies. So I just cleared out all the zombies because, yeah, there were quite a lot. So once that was all done, I made my way in the house. I read a book I found, which was about rifles, which, to be honest, I probably didn't need to read because I don't think I was going to find a rifle for quite a while. So I just read that book for a while, and once that was all good, I just kind of chilled out in the house for the rest of the night because the neighborhood was getting a little bit restless. So I took some sleeping pills because it was already late at night and I didn't want to mess up the sleep schedule. So on the start of day 6, I woke up and made my way through the house, basically just checking, making sure I had everything I wanted. So I took a baseball bat that I found in the cabinet because my aluminum one was about to break. So right here, I hopped out of another house and the windows and fences got me again, and I got lacerated because zombies, whenever they jump out of a window and they do the whole scratching thing, it's really annoying because you can get hit pretty easily. So what I decided to do was just make my way through these houses, keep on looting. I found a sleeping bag, which, I mean, if I was in the woods or something, sleeping bag would be really good, but I'm near a bunch of residential places, so it wasn't really needed, but I decided to take it. So I did some burpees and I watched the TV and kind of just chilled out in this house for a little while. And I found a hard hat in the garage, which was some great protection. And I just killed some more zombies in the area and everything was looking up. So I took my truck and I said, you know what, this area, it's not great. So I just decided to drive off to my next location, which was down the road because I just didn't want to get my car too far away. So I just took some fishing gear I found because, hey, maybe I wanted to fish later. I don't know where the pond would be, but, you know, fishing's cool. So I got in my car and I drove even further to a bunch more houses I found that had like shared garages or like one garage every couple houses. But these places were pretty interesting, so I made my way into them just to check them out, and everything was pretty good. Just these places were pretty infested with zombies, so I had to clear them out pretty safely. And with that, I just kind of cleaned and basically did everything. Just chilled for the rest of the night because I was already getting tired. So to speed that up, just so I could, you know, wake up at a good time, took some more sleeping pills, and then I just slept through the night. But I started getting a bit anxious in the night, probably because of the wound. So the wound probably was infected or something, so that was not good. So all I had to do was make it through day 7. If I could survive day 7, I would beat the challenge. So with this, I just drove around the area and said, you know what, I'm just going to be a bit risky. So I kind of looked around the area, just looked for some interesting places. And I did find some interesting places. I found a cop car and a bunch of cops in this area, which I thought, you know, maybe they have some guns. So around this time, it was midday. So, of course, watched the carpentry program and found a house, which there were a lot of zombies in. So I just killed them, and then I went to the bedroom, decided, you know what, I need to do some workout. I don't know why I decided to do that, but I just did some squats, and honestly, I made this place my home for the rest of day 7, and by the end of it, I just watched TV, boarded up the house, and this was about it. I became tired and slept through the night, and that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I like doing some Project Zomboid videos. They're fun, so if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and peace.